Happy Friday! What's up? Yay! I just got in from work. Got laid by some Vandy graduates. I couldn't pass up flowers on a string. I wanted to drape myself in them. Feels good. Feels good to wear them. How's everybody doing? What a week. What a week. I've gotten quite a few messages today and yesterday from people being like, oh my God, like the urgent warning message, the video from like this week, some of our other readings that have come up in the other videos, like they've been really giving us some Mercury retrograde training wheels and like water wings so we don't like drown out here. And I mean, people have been like, holy fuck, like this is like, I'm tripping, like you saved me, like that message like kept me from doing something. So good. The one where I was jogging and it's all audio, it's just like me heaving, like that took some vulnerability to put that up, but I just knew like somebody needed it and someone messaged me and they were like, thank you, that really saved me. So I'm so glad we're all like getting through this. It's Mercury retrograde. It's insane. Yeah, lots of action happening out there. I don't even know what is going on for y'all, but things are crazy. Today was Friday the 13th. And it's really funny because tonight at work we were like, why is it so calm? Like it's so quiet and like easy. And I was like, oh, it's Friday the 13th. And that's weird for us on a Friday. Like usually it's like, but yeah, tonight it was just like slow and chill, and I mean not really slow, like I still made good money, but it was like the easy way, so it was ideal. But yeah, it was very nice. That was our crazy Friday the 13th. But yeah, no super crazy stories. I did get in a beef with one of my coworkers. He left trash on a trash can I'd emptied and turned over, and I don't know, we ended up getting in a tiff about it, and I was like taking the water carafes back to the kitchen, and I like poured one on him, and he got really mad. But it was really satisfying, and I would do it again. In fact, I'm probably going to do it again at some point. It was really fun. But yeah, let's talk about our extended message. And it's funny too, because we were going to talk about a power struggle. I was in a power struggle with my coworker, and but it was a fun power struggle, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so our message for the weekend is like, it's so straightforward. There's no like getting around it. I'm just going to show you how it looked. So I pulled Knight of Cups first. And even though this wasn't the Page of Cups, I was like instantly, I was thinking like, are we going to get a message? Like, are we going to get a romantic message? Because I just noticed the goblet. It just really stood out. And so the Knight of Cups is as a person is very romantic and theatrical and creative and attractive and charming, and this is like the knight in shining armor. This is out of all the knights, like this is the one that's like the most charming, the most like sweep you off your feet and whatnot. Okay, so if this was a situation, it would be like, for instance, an opportunity to do something that really like lit you up and turned you on, and you had a lot of fun doing, and it gave you like a new sense of like emotional renewal and fulfillment. And so it's a happy opportunity. But specifically, I'm just really feeling like there's some, especially with the other messages that I've been getting this week from other people, and like the way that the readings have been coming up, I feel like there's like some sort of like person and like an interpersonal dynamic happening out, that's playing out, right? And which is no surprise for a Mercury retrograde, especially when we're coming up to our blood moon, full moon in Scorpio lunar eclipse on Sunday. So that's going to be a big day. And so it requires big transformation and big change. And what grows us and transforms us the most than people? Difficult people. So we're moving on from a difficult relationship. This whole week has been talking about like a fork in the road kind of thing, where it's like, one thing that's toxic has to be left behind and officially like moved forward from and gotten over and healed from in order for the new great thing to come through. Because the self-worth level depends on the self-worth is the vessel, right? And we can only contain the amount of light, blessing, and fulfillment that we have the capacity for as the vessel, right? So if we have low self-worth, we will short circuit and we will go back into our old patterns, even though we've begun to recognize them. And then we will reach for the toxic thing, the toxic person, or the toxic pattern. What we are trying to do is to overcome that, that tendency here and transcend that and choose with our free will, not in a reactive way, but in a way that we stop and we use consciousness and self-awareness and we make a choice, like with all of our faculties, you know, in play, and take that into consideration. So we have to leave a toxic pattern in order to go forward, because we can't receive the up-leveled life unless we have the self-worth that reflects that. And in order to prove that self-worth, like a person with high self-worth is not gonna work so hard to heal and to grow past a thing, and to have experienced it and done that whole thing and gotten the t-shirt and then be like, yeah, I guess I'll go back to that since that's familiar. That would be like plateauing, like backsliding, like going backwards, right? So when you have that higher self-worth, it won't be a problem. You'll be like, you know what, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I'm you know, moving forward into this new experience that I have not really fully lived through yet or lived out. So in that regard, your higher self-worth is demonstrating a different vibration to the universe. You're putting out a different signal, and you're able to attract what is in affinity with you and maintain that vibration and that resonance, because you're stable in that, you're strong in that, you're embodied in that new level of being. So that's a little bit of unpacking about like the energetics behind, you know, why we need to leave behind this toxic pattern, and why we won't get the thing that we're working towards if we backslide into the toxic pattern, right? It's not a matter of someone up there wagging the finger going, well, you shouldn't have, we told you to, you know. It's not personal. It's just the laws of the spiritual laws of nature, the laws of attraction, the law of like attracts like, and the affinity of form. So it's just the way that the beautiful machinery of the universe works. So the sacrifice has to be made. The void has to be created in order for the universe to fill that void with what resonates with you now at this new level. So circling back. So the first card was Knight of Cups. So this Knight of Cups, I was like, okay, this feels like the new situation that we could be going into once we leave the old. What's in the past is in the past. And it may be that you have gotten over that situation or person or that event that played out the way it did, but maybe you still have some lingering beliefs about yourself that have been left behind because of it. Or maybe the wound was so great that you're still walking with a bit of a limp. And I think that it's going to be just like a shift in the way that you see yourself, or the way that you see the way that the story played out. When you kind of shift from feeling like disempowered by it and feeling actually like grateful and empowered, like, wow, I'm kind of glad that didn't work out, because now I have possibility ahead of me, you know, and that's pretty exciting. Even though you don't know what it is, it's pretty thrilling actually to have options and choices, I think. So yeah, good on ya. But the good news is coming, and if not a person, a new lease on life that is going to be a more just full of life and full of excitement and enthusiasm and ready to go out there and get the party started and just feel like theatrical and romantic and like, yeah, let's take the world by storm. Or a person maybe in your life that you could have this like interplay with. I decided to pull a follow-up card, and two cards came together, which was immediately the top one confirmed, like, are we gonna get a romantic message? And it was like the romantic message card, Page of Cups. Page is a messenger, and the Page of Cups usually means good news. The Page of, look how like they're facing one another, and they both have the pink goblet, and the Page has a fish in theirs. So it's like good news is on the way, something that, you know, is unknown to this person. But they're facing each other, and it's like they're moving toward one another, but kind of like taking their time. And what they have, I feel like they both have things that they want to talk about, right? So that's sort of what I'm seeing here. Also, the Page is all the Cups, Quartz people are in the same family. They're all very sensitive types. The Page of Cups is very sensitive, very intuitive, also creative, good listener, probably occupies a lot of time alone, just doing their thing and like being creative and like just being lost in their own little world. But yeah, very good listener. Like people would go to the Page for like advice and things, like just an insightful, sensitive, caring, compassionate person. So you got like these two very sensitive, emotional, creative people who are kind of moving towards one another. They seem to have matching feelings, matching other things. But what they also have is Four of Pentacles in the situation, which is like a power struggle. The Four of Pentacles, if you look at this person, it's like they're trying so hard to hold everything down, keep a grip on everything that they've got, everything that they have attained, everything they created, and they're trying to maintain control of it, you know, by like keeping all of their, keeping all of their pieces, you know, holding all their cards close. They're just trying to control the situation. And this might be because they just are trying to avoid something undesirable, or they're trying to steer it in a direction that they really want. Or they're trying to maintain the power. This could be an ego battle where the person is like, no, I want you to go first or whatever, or I'm not going to be the first one to say anything. And basically, in order for these two to come together, this has to relax. In an interpersonal situation, this does represent a person who is trying to maintain control over the situation. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that's a sinister or like harmful person or motives. It's just they're just trying to like, they just want everything to play out a certain way. And so it would manifest in being overly like overthinking everything that you're doing, or like how you're doing it, or how you're saying it, or like when you're saying it, or like when you're responding. It's like trying to like overthink each step of the way instead of just being like natural and just letting it happen as it does, right? So I would say just loosen up. I don't know which person you are in this this dynamic, but the chances are that both people are displaying a little bit of this behavior. If this is like, if you're in the middle of a big career change, I would say that there is very positive potential for you to have a very fulfilling and exciting and inspiring situation coming your way, an opportunity. If you've already had an interview, you might be getting good news. If you have not had an interview, maybe it's time for you to reach out to somewhere that you want to work with, someone you want to work with, or work that you want to do. So maybe you need to message them. But in that case, this is about building stable foundations and balancing the energy of saving and spending. So it's like give and take, like emotionally and interpersonally, it's like balance, give and take, give up control. In a financial or like practical work situation, this is like, don't be overly miserly, but don't be overly like luxurious and lavish either. This is like, you don't want to be too frugal because you don't want to get into the lack mentality or vibration, and you don't want to close off the open flow of like money energy coming through your life, but you also don't want to spend too lavishly or extravagantly. You just want to keep a nice balance there. Sorry, excuse me, I'm like belching because I'm attractive. Yeah, so balance all of that. Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to say about it? I think that's all. I think that we're just building solid foundations so that we can, and this is interpersonal or in practical matters, like building solid foundations so that we can start building from a place of true authenticity. And in order to get that, in order to have that truly authentic life that is like really in alignment with you, that really gives you all the fulfillment, that you really gives you a sense of purpose, or that you can kind of channel your sense of purpose into, it requires vulnerability. Yes, but you have to be willing to, you don't have to like throw it all out there at once, but you can make it clear like what you're all about and what your intentions are. You know, you can be subtle, but you can be clear. You can be kind of direct about it, or you can be, you know, hinting or whatever. But I think it's good that we don't pretend to be something that you're not. Don't hide. Maybe just start taking baby steps to like show your real, how you really feel, right? But you don't have to do that whole like, you don't have to make it a big grand gesture or anything. Like, I mean, pace yourselves, people, like fill out the situation, but start opening up, start becoming a little bit more vulnerable. And the worst that can happen is that we're rejected and that the person is revolted and they want to throw up at the thought of us. But something tells me they won't. I mean, people like it when people are attracted to them, even if they're not attracted back. So the worst that happens is you're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I guess I'll get over you and move on, right? Okay, guys. So things could get really good. You could get this party started and get this party started right. Look at them. They're like mingling, they're having drinks. But you got to get over the power struggle, and you got to like take a risk and stop trying to control. Be a little bit vulnerable. Open up that heart. See what happens. All right, y'all. Good luck out there. I don't know what's going to happen. I would say try to be as clear as you can in this Mercury retrograde season, and be kind, be compassionate. We're coming towards, we're rounding into that last bit of the Omer, which is that 49-day period of challenges. I think we're going to be finished with it in about a month. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to do anything huge to make any like big life-changing moves right now. Just kind of ease in, everybody. Be careful out there. All right, y'all. Ciao.